In this video, I'm going to go through the alarm features in the Kollmorgen Visualization Builder software, or KVB. I'm going to show you can create different alarms based on the value of different tags in your project. I'm also going to create an alarm viewer so that you can see which alarms are active, select which ones you want to acknowledge or delete, and you can also see time-stamped when the alarms were raised or cleared. I'm also going to show you the different alarm distribution methods that also allow you to not only just have the alarms flash an LED on the screen of the HMI panel, but also you can set it up to send an email or text message to someone else. I'm starting from a 2-axis template program with PLC open in the KASIDE programming environment. It has a built-in KVB project that you can launch from the Project Explorer. Note, you can add alarms to any KVB project, whether you're using a KS controller or talking directly to an AKD drive or AKD basic drive. But I'm just starting from this template to speed up this video, and because it has a bunch of alarms already added and some buttons and screens associated with them. First, I'm going to go click under the Project Explorer in KVB. Under Functions, there is an alarm server. In this project, you'll see there are already 4 alarms added. They're all associated to Boolean variable tags so that you can put an expression or a condition to do any math or Boolean logic, but these are the most basic. Just if the Boolean variable is equal to 1, we will raise an alarm. So the 4 built in are, if axis 1 or axis 2 has a drive fault, or if axis 1 or axis 2 has a position error or following error that exceeds a limit set in the PLC program. If you want to add new alarms, you can click this Add button, and new one will be added. I'm going to show that you can also add other variable types, not just Boolean. So for instance, we can add axis 1 velocity, and not just check if it's equal to something, we can check if it's greater than any value you want. So now if it's greater than 1,000, we can raise a new alarm saying axis 1 velocity over speed. You can also add extra expressions if you want to do extra math and not just read the tag directly from the PLC. You can do that. You can also do kickoff actions automatically when a specific alarm is raised. For instance, you can say, oh, when this alarm becomes active, any of the built-in actions that you could also tie to like a button click or something else. You can, for instance, maybe you want to go to a specific screen. You can go to an error screen, or you can change the value of a certain tag in the PLC program. Makes it nice and easy to do it here from the built-in pop-up screens instead of having to program something yourself. You can also have the option to create separate alarm groups instead of the original default, each with their own different colors associated with it when they're active or inactive or acknowledged. To add that, you would just click this Add button, and then you have different alarm groups. And then if you go back to the original Alarm Items tab, now there's different tabs here, so you can add different alarms to the different groups. Also in this built-in template program, there is a whole separate screen just for an alarm server. To add an alarm server from scratch, you can go to the Objects section under the Home tab of KVB. And right here, there is an alarm viewer. And if you select it, you can drag it out just like any other object and place it on any screen. But this already has one. Like other objects, you can click it to select it, and then click on the General tab to access, like I usually say, like 95% of what parameters you want to manage with this specific object. And you can always go to the property grid to find 100% of the parameters associated with an object. So for here, the main ones with the alarm server are, you can click which buttons you want to have displayed. Right now, this is showing all of the available ones, but you can certainly uncheck or check if you want to make sure certain buttons are available or not. You can also configure columns. Right here we only have 3 columns, but there are a lot more parameters associated with each alarm, so different times, for instance, when they become active, inactive, and you can also sort by them from the server as well. You can pick which ones you want to be able to filter by. So now I already have my KS program running, so I'm going to click on the Run button. This will cause this KVB program to be run on my development computer, so I can test the screens. So in this template program, if I click on KVB features, that brings me to this screen, and then I can click this Alarm Viewer button, and it will go to the pop-up window with the alarm server. So this was a previous fault that I had just testing this before. So I'm going to actually go back and enable my axes so that I can manually cause, with my hand, just torquing it, a new fault. So now this is just happened, so it is active. I haven't cleared it yet. And if I go back, you can see that yes, there is a fault on axis 1. I can clear the fault right here, and the fault went away, and now it still keeps a timestamp of when it was active, but it is no longer red. Let me enable and just, now I will cause it again. Actually, I'll cause a different fault this time. I can unplug the feedback of an axis. Now I have a fault on axis 1. New fault. I can also clear it right from here. So it cleared all the old ones, but since this fault is still active, I still have the fault. It still shows up. I can also acknowledge it, and it's still active, but now it turns green, meaning, okay, I see that there is an issue. I'm going to acknowledge it, but I can't clear it until I actually clear the fault at the drive level. Oh, it won't clear because my cable's still unplugged. Let me plug that back in. Now I'm able to clear the fault, and it is not only is it active or acknowledged, it's just normal, meaning I've acknowledged it and it's gone away. So now I can clear it. Other buttons here, for example, you can manage alarms. You can turn certain ones on or off right from the HMI itself, or you can enable them all, disable them all, or you can do them individually through the checkboxes. Lastly, I'm going to show you, not only can you set up alarms so that they show up on the HMI itself and view them from the alarm viewer, you can also go on Insert tab of KVB and click on Alarm Distributor. This will cause a new section to show up under the Function section of the Project Explorer in KVB. And you can add new distributors, and this is just ways to configure either sending an email, sending something to a local printer, or sending an SMS text message to a phone. And for all of these different options, you can set up specific messages with variables, so such as which was the alarm, timestamps, things like that. So you can send a specific message to someone, like I said, either through an email, text message, or to a printer. So it's someone that isn't necessarily right at the machine, maybe someone in maintenance, maybe a manager, would be immediately noted that an alarm was going off on a specific machine. So this was the quick run-through on the alarm features in KVB. Thank you for watching this video.